Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be Harry Muppet, and this is Game 4 of the semi-final series of the HomeStory Cup number 7. And it is going to be between TaeJa down the bottom right side of the map, and TLO up the top left side of the map, and TLO finally getting stuck into this semi-final series, finally getting a win down. TaeJa won the first two games, and it was looking a bit dismal for TLO, but he managed to do it. Game number 3, going Roach Hydra, he managed to get out there and just do all sorts of awesome stuff. And I think I may have drunk too much apple juice, but we are going to move on nonetheless and get into this game. For some reason I keep thinking that drinking tons of apple juice will help my cough, but it does a little bit, but yeah, it does other sorts of very, whatever. Moving on with the game. What have we got going on? I have been saying that TaeJa's early build is it basically comes down to how he's going to win the game or not, because yeah, he does a lot better when he goes for a very early command center. When he goes for the early barracks, the safer play, he actually his economy isn't that good, and TLO just overwhelms him, and that's what we saw in game 3. As the first two games he went for the early command center. In game number 2 he had a lot of pain at the start of the game, but yeah, he did manage to sort it out, and here we go, going for the command center as part of the ramp. This is exactly what I said I was hoping to see at the end of game 3, is a early command center and a barracks wall. And yes, this is going to be the best of both worlds, because he's secure. The early Ling harass is not going to be able to get through, and as we saw in game 2, man, yeah, the TLO had a ton of Lings running in here, but once the buildings are finished building, you can send SCVs all over the place to just repair the living crap out of them, and that's fine. And you've got the command center coming up, so you can go for a you can just move it over as soon as you're there, and just start producing SCVs. Or even if you're really scared, if there's a bunch of Lings down there, you can just shoot SCVs, just produce them, send them over here, and I mean, why not? So it's really a nice thing to do. And I don't know, if I played Terran, maybe I will play a Terran game and try it out in ladder or something, but going for the early command center into barracks and building the command center on the top, I gotta say, man, I really like that tactic. And I don't know, man, I could estimate that TaeJa is going to win this game. Actually, I will do that. I'm going to think, with that build, man, that TaeJa is going to win the game. He'll have to make sure he moves it over, obviously, but he's got the early economy, and he's got the security, so he's going to be fine. He doesn't really need the security, though, because TLO is going through his fairly standard hatchery into spawning pool sort of deal. So yeah, he's going for some pretty standard play. But TaeJa is going to be ready for him right now, because he does have the earlier economy. So he's not going to be getting behind on the economy like he did last game. He's going to be all over the place in terms of the workers. And yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome. We do have the factory coming down. Yeah, did a bit of stuff with the Hellions last game. Not a whole lot though, but yeah, the Hellions totally saved him in game 2 when the Lings finally baneling busted through this wall and got in there. He had like 4 Hellions up at that point, and they just roasted all of the Lings, so that was very awesome. Going to the starport, we've seen this build a few times in this series as well, man. He's going to set the barracks down, build a tech lab, and then move the starport over onto the tech lab, and yeah, start getting some banshees out, man. And this, I really think this is like a really old school sort of build. Right back in the first few months of Wings of Liberty, I think people were doing this. The Hellion Banshee harass, you used to see it all over the place, and it really was awesome, because Hellions go in there and do all sorts of damage, and then the Banshees go in there and do all sorts of damage. Just take my word for it, it was pretty awesome. But TLO going for a very early third. Jeez, that's already finished, almost finished. So they must have popped that down like the 5-minute mark or something. So really aggressive expansion, and I think he should be fine. He only needs to worry about Queens to fend the Hellions off. Yeah, so that should be fine. The Queen's just going to scare these guys a little bit, The question is, will they scout out the third base? And if they do, then TLO is going to transition into Marines, Marauders, Triple M basically, and he's going to want to do a hard push down to take this out, because this is very, very early. Hellions can't really do anything against it, but once you start getting Triple M, yeah, he is really going to have to do something about that. But TaeJa does not know about this third base at the moment. He's sending 2 Hellions over there, or he's got to scout the third at some point. We know he's going to scout the third because he's always scouted it in previous games. So yeah, he should be fine. But 6 Hellions, man, that's quite a force actually. 1 Marine there just kicking an Overlord's ass. He's got this, but the gate is open. Oh, are they going to run in there? They run in there, run straight past the bunker. That is not going to be good. This Marine is going to go down, and yeah, he's in a bit of trouble. He's actually getting a Viking up. Meanwhile, these Hellions coming through, just roasting all sorts of stuff there. Looks like the Banshee was going for some stuff here, but got chased off. And meanwhile, just Lings, but they finally get taken out by the Marines as they're running around the map. So Hellions, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1. So they're definitely doing some good stuff. Remember, these cost 100 minerals and a worker costs 50, although Ling costs 25, so they're probably just mostly Ling kills. Meanwhile, the Banshee coming over, taking quite a lot of hits though, and this Queen is going to give it another couple of hits. But a Queen usually can knock off a Banshee. I think, one-on-one, I think the Queen would win, but only just barely, and by the time your Queen is about done, you'll almost certainly be able to get another Queen over there. And yeah, sniping out some creep tuners, that's going to be all sorts of fun. And this Viking doing a great job as well. This is going to be his maiden kill right here, this Overlord. Yeah, that's going to be pretty awesome. And TLO doing an excellent job out there, sending out Lings to scout out this third base, but they are going to get intercepted by all these Hellions. And off creep, man, the Lings with the speed, they're going to be doing a very, very good job. Not super good though, on creep would be a little bit better, but they're going to do enough. And TaeJa, I don't know if that was luck or skill, but he managed to keep them alive. And now he's just going to roast this one guy. The command center can land. And he's going to have to defend that because there are going to be so many Lings coming in here. And he's not watching right now. He's just lost 2 of his Hellions. Pretty big mistake there, but yeah, these guys should be enough to finish off the rest of the Lings. Maybe. I do not know, man. There's only 1 Hellion left. And a fresh batch of guys coming in. So yeah, TaeJa is in a bit of trouble. He's got some reinforcing Marines. And this Banshee who is somehow still alive. And that should be enough, but yeah, TLO already had his third base for so long. It's got a 13 worker lead on TaeJa. His army is about, I think that's mostly workers actually, so the armies are about the same, I guess. And the Marines, yeah, Ling's not too good against the Marines, especially not with medevac support. But yeah, they are going to chop away the Marines eventually, and then they're going to go down and just start taking out workers. Not going to get a ton. This constant harassment is getting to be a bit of a pain in the ass, although he is just starting to lose them now. And these Lings are going to look for something a little bit easier. The gate is open. Will they be able to run through? They might, but he's put all the Marines on this gate, so it should be fine. Meanwhile, he's moving out these forces. He's got a Banshee. I don't know if that's the same Banshee they just healed up or it's a different Banshee. And yeah, some good stuff here. Constant Ling harass. He's actually getting Baneling speed as well, so he really wants to be able to counter this Marine push this game. This is the game where TaeJa's actually got ahead. He's got a nice bit of army. He's going to look to move out. He's actually getting 2-2 weapons, so he's already got 1-1. Zerg's at the same point. He's trying to get 2-2. He's got the Mutas out. We saw Mutas in game 1, but TaeJa dealt with them with the Marine Marauder medevac. And the problem in that game was that TLO did not have the Banelings up when he needed to get them up to deal with the Marines. But we'll see if he gets the Banelings out this game to deal with them. And yeah, this Marine pack going to stand right here. Going to start wiping away the Mutalists. With Ling support at the ground level though, I think he should be fine. And meanwhile, Banelings running into the workers, man. That is just absolutely abysmal from the Terran's point of view. And with all those Lings on the ground, man, he just does not have enough. He's trying to get some Marines. 13 at once is an awesome amount. But he needs to somehow break this group. And this group is just doing a very, very good job at taking this out. Some reinforcing medevacs. going to be good, but the mutas focus firing the medevacs, and he just did not have enough right there to deal with all of those lings and all of those mutas. So eventually, just the crazy macro of TLO once again doing the job and taking it down, because I mean TaeJa he wasn't in a bad position, he just didn't have the economy that TLO had. TLO, I mean, look at how many minerals and gas he's got left over, and that is with him producing like a mad bastard. So he's definitely his advanced economy that got him in that position. And I mean, he didn't even need banelings necessarily. So if they were straight up in the economy, I think TaeJa could have held that off, and it would have been up to TLO to really get the banelings in there to start doing some damage. But he didn't even need the banelings, he just went in with lings and mutas and overwhelmed him with superior economy. So there we go. I mean, TLO's Roach Hydra 1 minute, Mutaling the next minute, and really going for that very, very early economy from TLO, really getting the third out nice and quick. And TaeJa, man, he's not putting the early pressure on TLO like he did the first game. First game really did some nice early pressure on that third base. Of course, TLO was a little bit slower in getting at his third base. He gave TaeJa a little bit more room to maneuver, and this time, this game and last game, TLO is giving TaeJa no room to maneuver at all. And that constant stream of lings are going in. There was not a single minute in the past 5 or so that TaeJa was not under attack by some sort of unit. So TLO keeping the pressure on really, really hard, and he's really, really turned this series around, man. Really done some good work. And I think in terms of his economy, man, he's just doing a better job than TaeJa. And TaeJa really, really is going to have his work cut out for him to get into the grand finals. Because the end of game 2, I said TaeJa's almost pretty much going to win, but we've really seen TLO do what he does best in these last 2 games. He's just gone awesome macro, gotten out some awesome armies, and just did some awesome pushes at the right time and made it work. So I don't know, man, I'm going to have to change my mind right now. I think TLO is going to win this. He's just got too much momentum, he's just done too much good work, and he's just dominating TaeJa, man. TaeJa, I don't think he got anywhere near really hitting anything in this game. He got a Banshee up there, and he got some guys over there, but TLO's just putting so much pressure on. So much pressure. And if he plays like he did this game and last game in the 5th game, then he's going to the grand final. And I don't know if there's anything TaeJa can do about it, man. Because TaeJa's an awesome player, but just TLO, man, is just playing so good. So good. He started off slow, but he's really, really gotten into it in the semi-finals. So we are going to find out in game number 5. Stay tuned for that. This has been Hairy Muppet. I hope you enjoyed this game.